Hey guys, come on in. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my page. I am Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and we are going to silkscreen a sunflower tonight. I'm going to use a chalk couture stencil. This is a tea towel that I got from Chalk Couture. The black and white stencil is from Chalk Couture. I silk screened that on here, and I have always wanted to put a sunflower on it. So tonight's the night. I decided that I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this in two parts. Tonight is the second part. Now, speaking of two parts, last night, let me straighten this up just a smidgen. Was it last night? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Today's Thursday. So last night at 6, I started a wreath that I was going to make with all my grandmother's spools. Hey, Molly, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, y'all. This is like a 5-hour project, the thing that I was making last night. Let me show y'all. Let me see if I can get this without knocking over too much stuff. I've been working on it, and I'm not done, and I got a long way to go, but let's see here. All right, so I have learned that, okay, so I'm going to have all of this. I'm going to end up having all these rows of the ruffles, and then on top of those rows, this is going to be my background that I started last night. I think I spent 2.5, 3 hours on this total, y'all. I mean, it is like crazy. So I really bit off more than I could chew. I thought I knew what I was doing. I guess I didn't. And but I learned. I mean, that's the name of the game, is not whether everything turns out right, but if we learn and move forward. And I have done a lot of moving forward, I will say that. All right, so what I want to do here, let me show you. The first thing that I need to do is I'm going to open up this towel, and I have what's called a sticky mat, and it kind of needs to be clean. You see how my fingers stick to it? The idea is to put this on your sticky mat. I do sell these in my shop, my Chalk Couture shop, but anyway, yeah, so we're going to put this on here. And then what this does is it makes it so that it's nice and taut. And this part here has already been silk screened. I'm adding another layer to this. I don't even remember when I did this, but I know when I did it, I thought I'd really like to add a sunflower to this. So I don't know if this is right or wrong what I'm going to do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off the back sheet. I don't want to do the whole sunflower. I'm only going to do part of it. I just want to do, see, this is, you see where you can see through it? That's the silk screen part. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to, maybe I want to do right about here. And we're going to put this on here. And this is kind of like a two-part thing too, because what we're going to do is we're going to outline this, and then we're going to come back and we're going to actually paint in the petals and everything. And so what I was thinking is, I think what I want to do, oh, there's my thing going. I think what I want to do is I want to give some definition to the edges of these petals. So I'm going to come in. So we're going to do this in several stages. We're going to silk screen it, we're going to dry it, we're going to heat press it, and then we're going to come back and we're going to paint in the petals. So, and then after we paint in the petals, we will, and I gotta be careful that I don't, this is a brand new jar of shimmer copper. All right, let me put that in the trash. And I'm going to get a stir stick. I got to be real careful because I'm working right over my project. We're going to stir this up. See how nice and creamy that is? I have another jar that is not quite this creamy, and I knew that I needed to get another one. So I'm going to, do I want to, all right, so this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we will outline all of this, and I'm going to go down to here. Maybe I should, hold on a minute. Let me think this through a minute, y'all. I'm wondering if I shouldn't put a piece of tape there. No, I think I want to go with the flowers all the way off the edge and the stem. So let's just see what happens. All right, so let me get a squeegee. Move this out of the way so that I can get in my drawer. I'm going to get a variety of things because I don't know what I'm going to need. All right, this is a small squeegee. This is a mini squeegee. And then this is a multi-tool. And so, hey, Chris, come on in. I'm so glad y'all are joining me. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but if you watch me long enough, you'll learn that I like to stretch myself, and I give myself plenty of opportunity to fail so that I can learn something and move forward. Not saying that you have to fail to learn something, but you've got to give yourself that grace. All right, so I think I want to do the whole outline in copper, so let's just go with that. Now, when you're working with these stencils and you have like your board, your design is real close to the border of your surface, I like to put a piece of tape there, and then that way I don't have to worry about. And I think what I'm going to do so that this doesn't go, I'm going to put a piece of tape down here at the bottom so that it doesn't go off of the edge on that. And then I'm just pressing this down to make sure that I have a really good seal. Now, the apron that I have on was done with Chocolate Tours ink also. I love their how their designs just are so crisp and everything. So I'm just going to dip in here. This is going to be my outline so that I know where to paint. And so I'm just giving it my old try. I'm going to go over the whole thing, and then I'm going to come back and instead of going under the tape, I'm going to turn my squeegee around and come back into the design so that I don't have anything that kind of bleeds through there. All right, and so here we go. And now what we're going to do is let me get a paper towel just so that I don't drop this on my project. I actually have someone in mind to give this away to this time. So, all right, here we go, y'all. We're going to lift this up. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, you know what? This is going to be really pretty. All right, we're going to lift this up. And I'm going to just put this off to the side for right now because I'm going to dry this, and then we're going to clean the transfer. I don't even know if I want to paint it or not. I'll show y'all what I have here in a minute. I could leave it like this. I love this copper. The shimmer copper is one of my favorite colors that Chalk Couture. I like this. I still kind of want to get the yellow in there though. All right, so I'm going to just let this sit for a minute. Let me show you what we have. Look at that. What do y'all think? Should we still go ahead and do the yellow? I just really want to do the yellow in here. All right, I'm going to put this off to the side. And I'm going to bring this stencil in. Chalk Couture calls their stencils transfers. Now, you see how sticky this is? Let me show you something. I'm going to make this, when it gets wet, it's no longer sticky and it's easier to work with. So I'm going to take a paper towel and just wipe some of this off from the back because we're going to reuse this. I'm telling y'all, this glass mat, if you do not have a glass mat, I highly recommend that you get one. All right, and I'm just going to wipe up the excess on this. And then I'm going to take a board eraser and go over it. Rager Ink, I saw, what is his name? I forget his name. But anyway, he demonstrated this is his glass. Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz is his name. He demonstrated his glass mat, and I thought, well, I'm going to try it. And that was a couple of years ago. I have tried cardboard. I have tried cutting boards. I have tried all kinds of paper. I've tried a smorgasbord of surfaces to craft on, and this is one that seems to work for me, and I love it. All right, and again, we're going to come in here. I'm going to wipe this off, wipe the board off. I try to get the major part of the ink or the paste up before I bring in the board eraser. Now, this is a board eraser. And it's kind of like a magic eraser, but it doesn't have quite all the chemicals in it, is what I'm told that the magic eraser has. All right, I'm going to squeeze this out. I got a little bit of water here. And now we just go over this, and anything that is left in that silkscreen area will come out. And I need to do this because we're going to reuse it. We're going to put this at the end if we decide to paint it. So what do y'all think? Should we paint the yellow on there? I think we should try it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? All right, so there's that. Turn it over. You want to do the front and the back because the ink goes through the front, comes out the back, so it's going to be on both sides. So you want to make sure that you clean both sides. I've had a pretty quiet day today. How about y'all? I've been doing a lot of little stuff and still have lots more little stuff to do, but I wanted to come on here. And I've been wanting to, there's, my nephew's best friend got married, and his now wife loves sunflowers, and so I was thinking about her. I'm actually thinking about her as I'm making this. All right. And see, even though this is wet and it's folded on itself, once it dries, it'll be sticky, but as long as it's wet, it's not sticky. All right, so I'm going to take, and just to get this out of the way, I'm going to put this back on the back sheet. And you can see how you can see all the white of the back sheet? That means that it's clean. If you see any area in the silkscreen where there's a color of the paste or the ink that you've been using, you want to make sure that, remind me that I put that off to my right, y'all. You want to make sure that you get that out so it doesn't dry in there, especially the ink, because the ink is more like an acrylic, and if it dries in that silk screen area, sometimes it doesn't come out. So you just want to make sure. All right, so I think we should go with, let's just try the yellow, y'all. I always have another towel. I can try it again if it doesn't work. So I want to get this dry, and then we're going to heat set it. And what that's going to do is that's going to make it so that when I start painting on here, that it doesn't bleed into the color that's already there. So let me get this good and dry. See which brush I want to use. Now I could leave it like this, and I think it would be fine, but I'm not going to. I really want to get some yellow on this. Loving, loving, loving that copper. Okay, so now what we need is we are going to get a piece of parchment paper, and we're going to put that over top of our design. Get this out of the way. And this can come down here. I got all kinds of projects going on, y'all. All right, here we go. And we're going to do 30 seconds at 305 degrees. And I'm going to have to kind of move this back and forth because it's... Actually, I'm going to just hold it here and then I'll move it down. This is a Cricut heat press. If you don't have a Cricut heat press that you can control the temperature, you can use an iron and put the iron setting on whatever fabric is, whatever the fabric is that that you're working with. So if say that you're working with cotton, I think this is cotton and polyester. All right, now I'm going to move this back and hit another 30 seconds. You would put your iron on cotton setting, and then you would move it around for 4 minutes. This is only 30 seconds front and back. But you can still heat set it if you don't have... All right, I'm going to put this off to the side so that I don't get it on my project. I'm characterized as dropping stuff on my projects, rubbing paint on my projects, and this just, I don't know why it does it, but you can feel it, but you don't, it's not like sticky or doesn't feel raised or anything. Oh my gosh, y'all, yes. All right, so what this is going to do, all right, let me turn this over because I want to do the back of this too. And then I like to put the parchment paper wherever the ink is, just to protect it. And lo and behold, there I go. I'm going to put this right here out of the way. And here we go. All right, so we're going to hit another 30 seconds on the back side. I almost stuck it in my copper container. You'd think I'd learn. So have any of y'all worked with any Chalk Couture transfers, stencils before? They're fun. Everything has a little bit of a learning curve to it. I've got three different companies that I like, of stencils that I like to use. Essential Stencil and the Stencil Smith, because they have a lot of really good... That's loud. They have a lot of really nice stencils. Theirs is the brush kind of stencil. This is a silkscreen kind of stencil. Oh, I'm almost nervous to put the paint on here, but let's do it. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to put that down here because we're going to come back to it. And I'm thinking I should put this back on the sticky mat. You know what? Hold on. Okay. That sticky mat is a larger sticky mat that I've cut down. I think what I'm going to do is I'm only going to use the small one. And then that way, if there's any paint or residue on this, then it won't. All right, here we go. I don't want to mix the inks. All right, so I've got two different kinds of yellow here, and I think the kind of brush that I want to use, let me see what I got. This one's kind of good too. I want something kind of stiff. This is going to be too big. This I might be able to work with. All right, let's try this and see what we get. See if there's a better brush. This one's got a nice, oh, this one might work too. All right, I'm gonna get these two out and we'll see what happens. All right, so I think I wanna start with, I've got two different yellows here, and they're very different yellows, but my thinking is we'll do a base coat with this and maybe come back over top of it with some of this sparkle. So let me get this needs a little bit of water in it, so I'm going to stick some water in here. And I'm going to get a stir stick. Kind of stir this up. It's not going to take much of this. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take just a little bit of this out of here. And I'm going to put it on the lid. And I'm going to put some water in here to turn this into more of like a watercolor. I want to kind of thin it out just a little bit. Some of these I've had for a while. I almost can use to buy some new colors. I've got a lot of paste, but I don't have a lot of ink in my inventory. All right, just kind of stirring this up to see where it's going to go. So my thought is this. After we get the color in here, we're going to put the transfer back on top of the sunflower. But I'm thinking instead of doing it again in copper, I'm gonna go over it, I want to say in black. And the reason why I'm saying black is because I don't want it to look, if I don't line this exactly upright, it may look like it has double lines. We'll make that judgment when we get to it. So here we go. This is all the same color, so it's not going to matter. You know, like if you're mixing your colors, then you have to make sure that you have enough of it. But this is just, we're just going to water this down. And here we go. And I'm going to get a paper towel and just kind of dab this a little bit and offload. All right, here we go, y'all. And it's just going to be a matter of going in. I may end up going over the copper. I don't know. We'll see. And just filling in the area in between where the copper is, filling these petals in. Oh, this is pretty. And I'm just dabbing this. Making sure that I get all the areas where the petals are. And I'm actually deciding to start offloading right in the middle of the project. I'm not quite sure how it's going to do on this black, but we're going to give it a try. And then go back up here. I had too much paint on my brush to do that one little spot. Can y'all see what I'm doing? And then just kind of come over here and I'm trying not to cover the copper up too much. Oh, I like this. I'm glad I decided to go with it. I may have to. I got an idea. I'm not going to do the part that's on the black. I'm going to come back with that. All right, so I'm only going to do the areas. I think I'm going to go over the black with like a white or a cream color, and it'll make those colors pop better. So I'm just going to go over the white right now. And then we'll dry this. After I finish all of the going over the petals in the white area, then I'll clean my brush and go over everything in with the white so that it'll kind of clean that up, make it pop. Otherwise, you see how this is kind of muddy looking? I'll hold it up here in a minute and show y'all. And you want your ink or your paste or whatever you're working with to be kind of wet so that it'll go drink right into that fabric. And more than likely, this is going to go through to the other side. All right, let me get a little bit more water in here. It's a little bit thicker than I want it. I'm not seeing any comments if y'all are commenting. I'm going to wipe this off over here. Grab another paper towel. I did a butterfly like this that Chocolate Couture had. And, you know, it took a while, but boy, was it fun. I put it on a, like a zippered clutch bag, and it was a lot of fun. I started on this crafting journey about, let's see, 2021. So about 4.5 years, because I started in October. And God kind of brought me on this journey, and so I'm learning all kinds of stuff. I am a math teacher by occupation, a stay-at-home mom after that, and now I am a crafter. And I've always done, you know, made like Christmas gifts and things like that, but I've never crafted on the level that I'm crafting now, and I sure am having a lot of fun because I love to learn, and I'm telling you, in the art world, you just will never know it all. I mean, it's like trying to know everything that God created. I'll spend time going out and just like looking at the sky or looking at the trees, and you know, I use how God created everything. As a matter of fact, I've got when I was gonna paint these sunflowers, I pulled up sunflowers, you know, real sunflowers, so that I had an idea of, you know, what I needed to do, because God's the designer, and so we just follow his plan. This was the right brush. It's stiff, it's round. It'll hold a little bit of paint, so yeah, I'm liking this. This was a good choice. And I like the copper on this. And we'll go up to the top of the leaves. So what do y'all think? There we go. All right. So what I'll do here in just a minute, I've almost got all of this done. I haven't decided if I'm going to go back over this in copper or if I am going to. I think I want to keep the copper. I really like this copper. I'm glad I decided to go for it. And you could get away with just the silhouette of the sunflower, but I like the pop that this yellow has. I like high contrasting colors. Black and white. You know, see, that we'll come back on that one. All right, and I'm only going in the white area. And then I'll come over the black with a white. I'm thinking. Oops, I didn't mean to go on the black. What I could have done, we'll see. I'm still thinking. I hope all of y'all are staying well. There's so many people who are getting sick. And I mean, whatever is going around is just brutal. All right, here we go. If I thought about it ahead of time, you know, it would have been kind of neat to leave the petals over the black and black, but I've already gone over some of them, so I'm gonna go over and we'll do all of them. Bring everything to the front. So there's a watercolor class that I'm going to take that I've signed up for. It's an online class, and it was like a $10 class. I've been doing a lot of like little $10 classes, and I'm kind of excited to see what this is a different person that I've never learned under before. Okay, so we've got all of that. So now what I want to do is, let me just make sure I've got all the white areas here covered. The name of the class is like Big, Bold, Beautiful Wildflowers or something like that. Watercolor, I can't remember. But it starts Monday, so it's like Monday night, I think 8 o'clock Eastern time or something like that. So we'll see how I do. All right, I want to get, hang on, I need to get like a neutral color. I've got white. Maybe I'll just do it in white. going to be difficult. There it goes. All right. Like I said, it kind of acts like an acrylic, so it's... All right, let me clean my brush one more time. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go like for the leaves. I'm going to come down here and... all right, I'm doing this in white because the... Oh, I need to get some water on here. Hang on. I want this to drink into the fabric. So I'm gonna just scoop some of this up and then spray some water on here. And I'm gonna put white over top of that black. All right, that should be good. Let me do a little bit more water. You'll be able to tell when you're working with your fabric because you want it to kind of, you want the paint or the ink to kind of drink into the fabric. If it's not drinking into the fabric, then you want to add just a little more water. That's the best way I can tell you how to know what you need to do. Because you don't want it real stiff, because then it's just going to sit on top of your fabric. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over all these areas that have black on them, and we're going to kind of bring them to like a neutral color. And then we're going to dry all of this, heat set it, and then I'll come back over this with the yellow because I want this to dry and heat set before I add the yellow on top of it. That way it won't mix with the white. It will just layer on top of it. I've learned quite a bit. I didn't know all these little steps when I started this. All right, here we go. I'm thinking I want the copper on top, so we'll see. See if I can get it lined up well enough to do that. It's kind of like coloring with a marker if you've got the right brush. Oh, I got to come down here and get these little pieces here too. I should have kept one so that y'all could see the difference it makes to put the white underneath it. Now, gray is another option. I have recently learned that that gray is another option for, putting a neutral color down. That may have been a better choice. But here we are. I got a little spot right in here. Almost kind of like paint by number. You get to determine what the number is, because the outline is already here. You just get to fill it in. Now, if I didn't have this checkered pattern underneath this, I would have just been able to just go straight and do everything in yellow. I wouldn't have had to do this white part. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves, because I'm going to paint those green. And I'm not worried about getting every little thing, because some of the background colors will act as a like a highlight, so you don't have to worry about getting every little thing covered. And then come over here. And I got a little bit in here. A little bit in here. Okay. All right, let me see if I missed anything. I don't know what I want to do with that center. I may just do the center in black, because that's kind of like where the, so I'm not going to worry about doing that black area there. And I'm coming in and I'm just looking, I'm seeing there's a little more touch up I want to do. Kind of smear this out so that it's not quite so thick, because I want to be able to work with this relatively soon. I'm just kind of lifting some of this excess paint off of here. A little bit thicker than I need it. Okay. I think we're good, so let me put my brush in my water. Whoops. If anybody can make a mess, it's me. All right, I'm going to use the yellow again, so I'm not going to get rid of my yellow. Did you read what my apron says? It says, the world needs messy people. I'm your girl. You need a messy person. I'm your girl. All right, let's dry this. I have to clean that lid off. You want to be careful not to get your sticky mat too hot, too, because you can melt it. So just be careful with that. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to heat press it again, but I'm going to take it off of the sticky mat before I do that. And get my parchment paper. And this is a wool mat. You can, put it on a towel or something if you don't have a wool mat, but I sew and do a variety of different things, so I have it. All right, put this down, and we're going to heat press this. And, oops, it went off. And that's going to set those colors so that I can add the yellow on top of the white. I'm just going to kind of move it around It's not quite 305, but I think we're going to be okay. I may do this twice. All right, there we go. Now let me get a small brush. This will work. And I'm just going to scoop this stuff back into the jar for the white because I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to get this out of the way. And the reason why I'm using a brush is just so that I can get it all out of the, what do you call it, the screw things. All right. Put that in the water. And then we're going to get this out of the way. Is the plan. Sometimes you can squeeze it on here. There it goes. Wipe this off. I've got a spot over here that needs to be cleaned up. I'm going to get this out of the way. Make sure my hands are clean. We're going to look and see what we got. Okay, that's good. Now, you will notice that when you heat set your project, it will feel differently. Okay, so now we're going to come back. We're going to get our brush. And we're going to go back over this in yellow now. And then we'll do the leaves in green. Y'all will see what I'm talking about, I hope. Oh, yeah. Still might need 2 coats. Not this quite so wet. It's a little bit different in color. So I think we're going to have to do this in 2 coats. You know, whenever you do a project for the first time, you know, there's always a hindsight. And for me, I think if I had to do this over again, I would leave the parts of the petals that are over the black, I would just leave them black and fill in everything else in the yellow. I think that would give a neat effect to it. Because this white, I'm definitely going to have to do 2 coats of this because the white is really altering this yellow. So we'll do this, then we'll dry it, then we'll heat set it. And then we'll paint it again. Because if we don't dry it and heat set it, we're just going to be pushing the paint around. Not really changing anything. All right, let's dry it. I'll put this back in my water so that I don't stick my project in it. Get some of that excess paint up, water up. All right, we're going to heat set it again. Get our parchment paper. It kind of keeps the paint from going up into your iron surface. All right, here we go. 30 seconds. And then we're going to paint it again. Thanks, Molly. Isn't that fun? I think Chalk Couture still has some of these in stock. I'll have to check and see if you're interested. Now, I do recommend that if you're going to get any Chalk Couture, there's a perks program. It's a subscription thing, but you can start and stop anytime you want. It's $20 a month, and the $20 goes towards all products on the website. You can start and stop the program anytime you want. So, like, I'm a designer, I get 40% off. Perks program gets 30% off. So if I was not a designer, I'm a numbers person. So this is what I would always tell everybody. You know, the idea is that Chalk Couture wants Perks members for life, but the smart way to do it is to join, pay your $20. Well, actually, the smart way to do it is look at the website, see if there's anything you want. If there's anything you want, or there's like a big, what do you call it, launch, like a, you know, spring launch is coming up. So you see if there's something you want. If there's something you want, then you join to be a Perks member. It's $20, but you're going to get that $20 back in product credit. So you join, then you're going to put your order in, use your $20 of designer dollars, and if that's all you want, then, you know, then cancel. And, you know, but you've saved 30% as opposed to paying full retail for it. So I always tell everybody, don't pay full retail. You don't have to. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to do one more layer. I hope only one more layer. We'll see. I may need to do two. All right. Let's see what we got. All right, it's going to need another layer, so let me take this out. That there. Where did my mat go? What did I do with it? Here it is. Okay, so we're going to do another layer. Oh, I hope this is not quite going into the fabric the same way that it did on its own, so we're going to see. All right, this is looking better. Color's a little bit different, because it's not drinking into the fabric because I've got that one coat down there. And it may take 3 coats. We will see. quite the same color. May take 3 coats. Go straight into this and see what happens. Yeah, I'm just kind of going straight in the color now and not watering it down to see if this is going to make a difference in the... I'm bringing the color back the same. There is a little bit of a difference. And I think what happened is the white is keeping it from actually absorbing into the fabric, where the first layer of the yellow drunk right into the... Alright, we're going to just kind of go over all of this and see what we can do. All right, let's see. It's getting better. It's getting better. Gonna need to dry it again. All right, let me dry it again and see where we go. It's getting closer. I think I'm going to go back over it with the copper. All right, here we go. Let's take this out. Get our mat or wool mat. Guard. Yeah. All right, here we go. 30 seconds. So we're just layering it is what we're doing, and I'm heat setting it in between each layer so that it doesn't mix with the paint. I want it to layer. And I think we're going to have to do one more layer. I should have brought some water over here. Anybody drink coconut water? I love coconut water. I quit drinking sodas, gosh, over 20 years ago. All right, it's getting better. It's getting closer, y'all. So let me pull this out. Bring this back. Almost there. I think this is going to be this last layer is going to be what we need. So here we go. Yep. Just took a little longer to get over that black. It is, you can still see where the black is underneath it, but it's better. One of the things that I have learned is that the paintbrush is everything. What paintbrush you use makes all the difference in the world. And I've listened to different artists who paint. Everybody likes something different, so you just have to find what works for you. I like filbert brushes. Those tend to be my favorites. Okay, it's getting there. It's getting there. I'm just taking this straight out of the jar now because I need it to be a little bit darker. All right, let's see. Can definitely see a difference, but we'll see where this goes. Looking good. Alright, here we go. I'm going to add just a little more paint to the white side of this so that it looks more painted and more like it's on top of the fabric like the other stuff is. And this way, all the petals will look like they're hand painted. Well, I haven't even gotten to the leaves yet. Okay, here we go. I'm liking this. I'm liking it, y'all. Wow. So I'm thinking that by coming back over this yellow that we did in the beginning, that it's all looking hand painted now, because now this layer is this second layer on the yellow is sitting on top like the others was or is. Looking pretty good. Just reaching in there, straight out of the jar at this point. Okay, almost done. It's looking good. Looking good. Got this one area here. All right, that's looking good, y'all. I'm liking it. We have another spot right here. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to dry it again. Then we'll heat set it. If y'all can see what we got here. This is what we have so far. I like it. I really like it. I think we did the right thing by adding the yellow to it. All right, let's see if this is not quite dry yet. So we're gonna dry it a little bit more. It's pretty warm. All right, we're going to put this off to the side. I'm going to bring this in. Bring our parchment paper back. All right, and 30 seconds. Layer after layer, right? And then we'll do the leaves. And every time you do something new, you know, you get better at it the next time you do it. So just keep trying new stuff. All right. See what we got. All right, looks good. Ooh, it's steaming. All right, we're going to put that off to the side. Let me look at it. Show y'all what we got. Oh my gosh. Yes, 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 yes. I think we got it. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to get a couple of different greens. I had some out and then I put them back away. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go with a lighter green at first, and then we'll do a darker green. So let me get my ink mat. Oh my gosh, I love it. Look at it, y'all. Look at that yellow against that black and white. I am loving it, loving it, loving it. All right, so now we're going to come in here. I'm going to kind of fold, well, no, I don't want to fold that back. That's probably not a good idea. All right, let me put my yellow away because I'm done with that. And then I will come back over all of this when we're done with the copper again, and it'll just really brighten that up. All right, so here we go. We're going to go in here. I think I'm going to start with the lighter green first. I think I'm going to get a fresh batch of this. And wipe my hands off. Always wipe your hands off. I'm going to make sure that I clean this brush really, really well. And then come back over this. We're going to do our leaves. I think I'm going to do, I might do both of these colors. Oh, that's pretty. Maybe I want the darker green and then do some highlights. I think that's what I want to do. All right, I'm going to go straight in here and see what we get. Probably need to mix these two. See see what I have to mix it with. I guess I'll just do it right here in the lid. All right, so I don't really want it all that dark. I'll do a little bit of dark, a little bit of this light. Kind of mix the two together. This is where you need to kind of add a little bit of, make a little extra. All right, let's see what this is going to do. That's better. Kind of wipe some of this off of here where I stirred it. And then we'll come back with some highlights, maybe some just of the lighter stuff. This is a kind of a mix. And I'm going to come down the stem. This one's going to be a little bit darker. I'm trying to leave the outline of the leaves so that when I come back to put the stencil back on top of it, I can line it up easier. Okay, I'm going to come in here. And then we got this leaf down here. This leaf is kind of just going off the edge, going off the bottom of the towel. It's fun, 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 fun. Making sure that I get these stems. And then we got this, and then I think that's it. So as I've gone along, I've gotten a little bit more loose. I'm not as rigid as staying, you know, keeping everything right. I'm just kind of going with the design more than anything. And just kind of going with it. You get a little bit more as you do more, you get more comfortable with it. All right, and then I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm going to go in here with some of this lighter. Hey Cheryl, how are you? I am finishing up a tea towel that that I started a while ago, and then today I'm just adding the, all right, I'm going to come in here and we're going to just add a little bit of highlights in this. And I may have to dry this and heat set it and come back. It's getting kind of thick. All right, let me dry this. Let me get this out, lid out of the way. Wow, I am loving this, loving this, loving this. I'll turn it around for you in just a minute. I think I might want to get some white out too. Add a little bit of white in here. Having some fabric markers would be nice with this too. All right. Let me get my mat, my wool mat. This off to the side. We're almost done, y'all. Wow, 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 wow. This is really coming out nicely. All right, here we go. All right, 30 seconds at 305 degrees again. Hey, Joy, come on in. This is about the third or fourth layer that we've worked on so far. We'll do this, and then I think I'm going to grab just kind of a fine line brush, and I don't know if I put it back, and I think I want to grab some white paint or ink. This is Chalk Couture's. Oh, loving it, loving it. All right, let me get the white, and I'm going to grab I want like a small, kind of like a detail brush. I don't have a favorite detail brush yet. I need to get a favorite. All right, let's see what this is going to do. All right, I'm gonna get this white out. I should have left the white in the lid that was there. All right, let's see if we can just come in here. Yeah, there we go. Just a few highlights. Kind of offload. Just a few highlights. And then I'm going to come in here with some more of this green, a little bit of this green. Kind of tone it down just a little tiny bit, not much. I like it. Okay. All right, so we're going to take and we're going to put this away. We're going to dry it one more time. I'll just go ahead and leave this here because I'm going to need to heat press it. All right, we're gonna dry it one more time. Then we're gonna heat press it. Then we're gonna go back over this one last time. There. All right, here we go. Let me get this lid on here, because y'all, I am so bad about sticking my projects. This is like needs to be cleaned off of here. See if I can do it without spilling it. It's like rubber. All right, I'll just have to deal with this later, because it's gonna need a little bit of work. All right, there we go. That went well. Grab another paper towel, cleaning my hands off. Oh, you know what? I never did go over. Oh, I wonder if I should. I was going to go over it with some glitter stuff, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to leave it alone. All right, here we go. 30 seconds again. Whew. What a project, huh? So if any of y'all are just hopping on, you'll want to go back and watch from the beginning what I did. I started with the black and white. I had already done that one day, maybe a couple of months ago, and I have been wanting to put a sunflower on it because I just felt like it needed a sunflower. And anyway, today I decided I was going to put the sunflower on there, so that's what we're doing today. And I'm really liking the way this is turning out. Really, really liking it. All right, I don't need this green, so I'm going to put this away. Get that out of here so I don't, I just don't think so. I'm thinking no on that. So we're going to get these out of the way. Only thing I really need is the copper. Wow. All right, so we're going to come back, and where is this one? All right, I need this because this is a little bit taller. And we're going to get this out of the way. And we're going to get tape again. And we're going to grab our stencil. We started with our stencil, and we're going to finish with our stencil. Actually, I'm going to leave this where I can get to it because I'm going to need it. All right, here we go. Now what we do is we line this back up. Let me get that out of y'all's view. Okay, we're going to come back over this, and we're going to line this up. And it should line up exactly. You'll be able to find it. Everything will line up. All right, that looks good there. This is going to come down just a little bit there, a little bit there. Is that it? I think that's going to be it, y'all. Just kind of gauge this. All right, I think that's it. So now we're going to take our tape and we're going to put it back over the top here so that we don't run off onto our I think that's going to be good. I hope so. Let's see. All right, hang on. Let me see. I'm not sure if I got it exactly the way I need it to be. All right, hang on, hang on, hang on. It looks good here. No, it's off down here, so hang on. Let's start over, and that looks good. That looks good. I think that's better. Let's go with this one. Oh, hang on. That one is right there. And but it's off down here. Why is it off down here? All right, this looks good down here. That looks better right there. Let's try that. That's there. What we've got here. I think this is it. I think this is what we're going to do. All right, so here we go. We're going to get our copper again. And I am going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm going to tape this off down at the bottom so that I don't run over the edge. We're going to do it about right there. And then we're going to get our copper. Oh, that's the old copper. I want the new copper. And then we're going to get our squeegee. And here we go, y'all. You ready? I hope I got it right. We're going to find out here in a minute, aren't we? All right, here we go. I'm going to just go over this a second time. I'm glad I'm using the new jar of copper, because the old jar I've had for quite a while and it was kind of dry. And I could add water to it, but I decided to just open up a new jar. All right, y'all, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Here we go. All right. Put this over here. We're going to lift it up. Oh my goodness. Oh, I am loving it. I am loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay, let me put this over here. We're going to clean it. Put this in the trash. Oh my word. I love this. Okay. How cool is that? Oh, the stem is a little bit off, but that's okay. This looks like it has extra copper in it. Wow. And the copper is raised on this now because we've got like a double layer on it. Oh my goodness, y'all. I am loving it. Wow, 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 wow. All right, then the last step. Let me get this out of here. The last step is going to be to heat press it one last time. This copper, I'm telling y'all, this copper is just stunning. I see a couple of spots, but I'm the only one that's going to know this. I see a couple of spots where I didn't get exactly lined up, but nobody else is going to notice that. Okay, I think we're good. All right, y'all. One last, make sure this is dry. Feels like it's dry. All right, one last heat set. Oh my word. How fun was this? I knew this needed a sunflower. I had people in my family tell me, oh, don't add the sunflower. I'm glad I added the sunflower, y'all. Glad, glad, glad. Wow, this is awesome. All right, so if y'all are just hopping on, please go back and watch from the beginning. And if you're new to my page, please say welcome so that I can welcome you. All right, there's one side. Now we're going to turn it over and we're going to do the other side. Wow, 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 wow. All right, and then I'll show y'all what we have. Let's get it done, and then I'll show you what we have. Oh my goodness, I am loving this. Makes me want to make another one just like it, but I won't. I'll move on and try something different. Wow, 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 wow. All right, let's see, 23. That one, I'm going to thread the old copper away. Glad I bought a new one. And just like that, let me show you what we have. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Wow, 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 wow. And we've got it going off the page. I wanted the sunflower to be some on the white and some on the black and white checks. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, y'all, that is our project for tonight. Remember that the black and white check, I had already done that, I don't know, a couple months ago. And I just wanted to come in, and I just really felt like this needed a sunflower on it. And I really feel like I made the right call with this. And anyway, so I hope that I've inspired you to try something new. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs. If you're not following my page, I would love for you to give me a follow. And have a great night. Thanks for joining me. All right. Love y'all. Jesus loves you more. Bye-bye.